Perfect. And while I set up the disclaimer, I want to remind you that if you don't feel comfortable at any point during the interview, just say so and we will stop or we will skip the question. And
Okay.
also, after we've recorded the video, if you don't feel comfortable anymore with it for any reason, just tell us and we will get you out of the project.
Yeah, so once I ask a question that you don't want to answer, you just say, I refuse to answer, and that's totally great.
Oh, I'm struggling here. It's not level. Do you guys know each other?
We have a class.
Yeah, we
Or
take
two.
the same class.
Ah,
Good question, like, what is accept mechanical materials? Not QFT, I suppose?
No.
Maybe.
Not in topics of theoretical physics.
Oh, exactly, yeah, because, like, probably first year students take it.
Ah, you're second year.
Oh, no, I'm a first year actually.
Ah.
Yeah, so, yeah, we kind of had a bit of interactions
okay.
as soon as possible. Okay, yeah, so we can start.
Yeah, perfect.
Great. Okay, so I want to start with telling us a bit about your background, where you come from.
Okay, my name is Beatriz. I come from Colombia. I did my bachelor in physics in Colombia too, at Universidad de los Andes. It's a 4-year bachelor. I don't know, this is different in every country. And well, I did my thesis in active matter, like I mean not super deep, but with Brownian active particles, and yeah, that's my background in physics basically.
Okay, great. And which track are you in now?
I'm in biophysics.
Okay, good. So, what has made you choose this program in the first place?
Like biophysics or the master in physics in Leiden?
The master's physics in Leiden.
Well, a couple of reasons. One, the language, of course, that it's in English. I was also, for example, looking into Germany or other countries, but the fact that it's in English was required. Also, I was not looking too much into applied physics, even though biophysics seems very applied. But I also like the part that it's more related like to physics and the theoretical part of physics into biology, so not just like studying genetics or very applied stuff. So that's why I didn't went for applied physics precisely, but I look another type of program. Also, I was actually not sure if I wanted biophysics or condensed matter. And while I was looking the curriculum here, I saw that I could actually take many courses that have not to be in the track of biophysics, so I could try them, and that's what I was doing, or I'm still doing, even though I think I'm going with biophysics because I really like it. But it's like the flexibility that I could take many electives that are actually not in biophysics.
Cool. So, how do you like the coursework?
What? Sorry?
How do you like the coursework, the courses?
How do I work?
Oh, sorry, how do you like the courses?
How do I like them?
Mm-hmm.
I really like them.
Yeah, like maybe you have some favorite course or you want to say something in general?
I like, for example, in the first semester, I like a lot statistical physics, A and B, of course, because it's very related also into biophysics, more than quantum information. And now I'm taking, for example, a lot of well, not a lot, but some courses in biophysics, and they're very interesting too. I took biophysics the last semester, and now, for example, I'm also taking a course in Delft. And that's also very nice that I can also choose courses in other universities. But yeah, that's too much biology actually. I also like being in the physics here at Leiden, so I noticed that I would not have been that happy doing that there because it's like to focus in biology. But I really, really like them, and I've been also taking other courses, like for example soft and biomatter, and I like that it was not focused just on biology, but in materials, elasticity, polymers and things like that. And this semester to mechanical metamaterials, for example, that I guess it can be applied to membranes in biophysics or things like that. So I really have enjoyed those courses.
Mhm. Great, you mentioned Delft. So have you considered taking external courses in Delft or Utrecht, for example?
Well, I didn't consider it before because I didn't know there was the chance, there was the possibility, but once I had the possibility and I saw that there had this really nice course about the origins of life, I took it. But again, it's not very focused on physics. So even though it's very interesting and I really like it because I think it can give me some context in biology, it's not physics. And so it's not what I'm focused on. But it's very interesting. Yeah.
Okay. So in that case, what can you say about the workload that your coursework gives you and how does it compare to your bachelor studies?
Well, actually, I was very worried about how would be the course load here, but it has not been that bad as I expected. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this answer is good, but in Colombia, the course load is super heavy, and I think it's sometimes because they're like trying to prepare us as much as possible so we can work and have a good performance out there, because they know we will not stay in Colombia, so they will never know how we'll be able to work out there. So they put us a lot of workload, like, yeah.
Okay, so do you make you in Colombia? Do you make do they make you learn way more, or do they give you many projects? Like
well, we have homeworks every week. We have 3 exams at least every semester for all the courses. I don't know, maybe it's the same in the bachelor here, and maybe it's just that the master it's less courses, which makes sense always. But yeah, I just think it's not that it's more content, but much more work, like homeworks and exams.
I see. And do you have the choice, at least in the last year of your bachelor, like to choose the courses that you like?
Yes, I had electives.
Okay, that's great here. I just recall that in Ukraine we do not have the choice even at the master, so it's good to hear.
Yeah, I actually was able to take some of the master electives if I had the prerequisites done.
Okay, good here. So about the coursework, what would you say about? Yeah, is actually the last question about the coursework. So, what would you say about the content of the courses? Is it generally deep enough, or is it more broad and more general?
Well, I have never been in these type of courses that are like seminars, and I have enjoyed them a lot, because even though it's sometimes more work because you have to be engaged in all the classes, like to participate and everything, I really enjoy that sometimes the class it's just to read papers. For example, it was a bit like that in biophysics the last semester. Of course, we had to read some textbooks, some chapters sometimes, because we didn't know like the biophysics. But yeah, I really like those courses that are on papers, and I'm not sure how deep into the like already, like there's not a textbook, like a text guide. So maybe it's not that deep in that sense, but you learn way more applications, or at least more state of the art.
Yeah, great here. So probably the courses are more to the frontier of the research.
Yes.
Actually.
I think. I'm not sure. Maybe our old papers, but I don't think so.
Yeah, but what were the dates on the papers that you got?
Yeah, they were new, some of them. They were very recent.
Oh, that's cool. That's great.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So,
And actually, sometimes you have to study a lot to understand the paper, so you end up learning a lot of the content and going very deep just to understand a bit of the paper. So,
yeah, and in that case, what would you say about the knowledge that you get while reading a particular paper? How would you compare the the value of that knowledge to the value that you would get from a textbook, let's say?
well, it's a bit more challenging because, yeah, you have to, it's not like they give you what you have to learn, but you actually have to look what you have to understand first and then to understand the paper. So, yeah, I didn't have an example. Okay, maybe for example in biophysics that they talk a lot about genetics, so I have to learn a lot about genetics before being able to understand the paper, which was not, I mean, of course the physics, it's not about understanding the genes and the mechanisms, but I still have to understand a bit of that before. So I guess it keeps you more engaged on studying, actually.
Great, and probably gives you more of an external knowledge as well, I think.
Yeah,
Okay, sounds
more
good.
broad, maybe more interdisciplinary, I don't know.
Oh, that's actually great as well, especially nowadays. Okay, what about the research? So, how many projects do you need to do during your masters?
I have to do 2 projects. I think one has to be bigger than the other one, but from what I've heard, they end up being actually the same. Because, yeah, it's the first time doing like kind of research, so. And I have to do 2, and what I like of having to do 2 is that in biophysics there are many groups here of research, so I want to try like very different ones to see, because I don't know if I want something more computational and theoretical in biophysics or maybe something more experimental. So I really like that I have the option to do the 2 projects.
Great, and do you have any suggestions already for who might be your research supervisors?
Yeah, sadly, I was really, I was thinking about doing with Wim van Saarloos, I don't know how to pronounce the name. But he doesn't have apparently a research group anymore, like very recently. So I'm still looking.
Oh, I see. And how do you approach this process?
Well, with Wim van Saarloos, I had a class with him, and I loved the class. So, and he talked about what he was doing before in the lab, or I mean the research. So that's why I knew him and what I got interested on what he was doing. But for other groups, for example, I know there's a group working on physics of membranes, and even though I don't know the professor that is working on that, other professors are always referencing each other on other classes. So it sounds also interesting. So I guess if I don't know the professor, I will just have to email them.
I see. Yeah, so like it's not a problem for you at all to actually email a professor.
No, and I've noticed that that's how you have to do it anyway.
Okay, cool. And how would you describe the culture that is in the biophysics department or in the department that you want to work for?
Like,
Yeah, like what have you maybe noticed about the treatment of students or just from the responses to your emails?
It has been okay. You mean the professors or?
Like maybe an environment in general, the atmosphere,
Well,
the hierarchy maybe.
Actually, I think like in biophysics, I'm not really sure, but we're just 3 people. And so we always have our courses with people from other tracks, always, because we're just too few. Except for this course in Delft that just 2 of us, and anyway. So I never feel any difference, I guess. No.
Okay, and do you have contact with the biophysics students who are a year?
No.
Okay, because maybe as
There's
there are
more.
so few of you, maybe you
Probably
should.
there are more, and I just don't know them. Yeah.
And because like your track turns out to be quite unique, so you might need support each other, maybe,
Mm.
or maybe no.
Yeah, I guess it's the pandemic also.
Yeah, right. And by the way, about sport, how would you describe the support you receive, for example, from a study advisor?
It's great. I've been in contact a lot with Hara, the study advisor, and she has been really, really helpful with everything. Like academics, I, for example, had a situation and I thought I would have to go to Colombia in the middle of the semester, and she was always there, like keeping track of everything, and it's very nice.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Okay, so let us talk a bit about the city, especially from your as of international student perspective.
The
So,
city,
yeah, how do you like Leiden?
I really like it. I think it's really beautiful, but maybe it's because it's completely different to me. uh, some people say, oh, but it's the same picture like in all the cities, like all the Netherlands looks the same, but I just love it how it looks everywhere, so I'm actually very happy. I really like it.
Oh, so it seems you will be happy about almost any city in the Netherlands as well.
Yeah, I've been to a couple and I go every weekend to Delft, so
Oh, nice. Yeah, so you go every weekend to Delft to take courses there? Or?
no. Too
Ah.
personal.
Sorry.
No,
of
it's
course.
fine.
Of course, just interested. Yeah, okay. So, how was that for you to move in Leiden from Colombia?
It was well, it was my first time in Europe, so it was really like a big change. But I was happy. I never felt like sad. Of course, I missed like Colombia and my family. Like it's always a difficult. But I think like there was, for me, there was no like a cultural shock like people sometimes think you will have, but I didn't felt it. But for example, I realized I was not eating as much the first 2 months. And then I said, okay, maybe unconsciously I'm still maybe processing everything that it's changing. But I didn't feel or sad or anything. I was actually very, very happy. I'm still very excited. Even though it has been already 6 months, I still feel like I just got here yesterday. So,
Oh, okay.
and I really like it.
Yeah, that's good to hear. And what was your experience with housing?
I was very lucky, I think, because I got a house with the housing office.
Okay.
A room, so it was very easy.
Okay, and you probably still live there, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. That's actually great.
Yes.
Like, no hassle.
I think it was actually easy because of the pandemic. They also always tell me like, oh, you have to do it very fast. I was actually very worried about the housing. The sister of the boyfriend of my best friend studied in Leiden like 10 years ago, and she told me, oh, it is a mess, you won't get a house. I had to live in a hotel for a couple of days and they would never so go with the housing office. And for me it worked like very easy, but I think it's because people was simply not coming to the Netherlands, so it just worked.
Well, it's about time to wrap up.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so let us wrap up with the question. So, what is one thing you particularly like about the program, and what is one thing you would like to improve?
The first one was what I like.
Yeah, what you particularly like.
Well, it's very nice what I told you about like the seminar style, because I know that, for example, the master courses in Colombia, even though they were already the masters, they were not in that type of teaching. Like there were not like discussions between the students and things like that. And I think that's really, really great. What would I improve? I don't know yet. maybe it can. No, I don't know. I'm really sad that topics in theoretical biophysics or topics in biophysics, it's not going to be taught, and I mean it's one of the central courses of this track, so
But are they going to teach it the next?
maybe,
Yeah.
maybe I'm still not sure. They said that they don't know,
I see, but
so maybe to focus. I mean, I know that, for example, they give a lot of. They're very focused. I know in this track of quantum information, I think, or condensed matter, and biophysics. It's also important.
that's a great message.
Maybe it's because it's not too many students. I don't know, but it's maybe it can get bigger. If also more students will want to come to biophysics if they get a bigger offer of courses or something. But the research here, I know it's really nice, so I also choose it because of that. So it's not like I came here knowing that they didn't have courses because they have courses.
I see. Okay, thank you. So, well, finally, what kind of advice would you give a prospective student who considers the program?
Oh, I don't know. Like what?
I don't know, maybe to international student who is moving in, for example.
Oh, to do everything. I mean, if it's a non-European student, because that's a big difference too. To be very organized with all the paperwork and everything, because it can be overwhelming.
Yeah.
And to be prepared to, it's even though I've been very happy and very excited, it's always overwhelming, like the change and being far away from your culture and everything.
But for you, as I see it, turned out just fine.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, thank you. So here we wrap up again. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
It was a pleasure. Okay, maybe you have questions.
No, I think you did a really great job. I really liked listening to the conversation. Also, I really liked that second to last question. You just had this really nice answer. But I forgot. Oh, yeah, about that biophysics is kind of just.
Yeah,
on
on the side.
Yeah, that's really, really too bad. And I really like how expressive you are when you talk. And I think that's going to translate well in the video.
Okay,
It's
I'm
really
glad.
cool.
Exactly. Yeah, actually about the biophysics is probably the message that we need to deliver.
What?
Like the message that needs to be delivered to like.
Oh yeah.
Oh, of course, if you don't want it to be delivered like. I don't know that we, of course, can make you anonymous or something. But,
No, it's fine. It's fine.
so you are our final student.
Oh, fine.